Hello everyone and welcome to Club at 22, the Rangers podcast live on YouTube. We are here to answer some questions from you, the Club at 22 loyal. So get them in the comments as we'll be giving you our opinions on the questions and also leave your opinions on the questions that we're going to attempt to answer. As always, I will try my best to get through every single one of them, but we might end up being here all night. But we could make it a two-parter because in the world of Rangers, it's all very, very quiet just now. I say in the live chat, you will see a super chat and super thanks option. If you'd like to support the pod that way, then you can do so, which would be very much appreciated. And as always, please like the video if you would be so kind. And if you're feeling very generous, then please subscribe to the channel. I am your host, Scott Carney, and it's 3/4 full tonight. Ryan Haymarsh is still very much sunning himself on holiday. So, Ali Pearson, how are you, mate?
Very well. I feel like I've not been on this pod for a while.
It feels like that.
If folk don't know, Ryan's in holiday in Turkey. I don't know if he mentioned it before, but he's in Turkey. So he's had a couple of good videos he's sent in the group chat, which obviously we can't say in this, but it's been entertaining where he is anyway. But I'm still recovering for that weekend last week. I know you. I don't know if you'll touch on it, Carney, with Scotia, but I just hope you've not got denim shorts on tonight. Carney, that's all I'll say on it.
God, man, I had forgot all about that. Do you know that? I had forgot about that. We'll come to that. We might as well. Scotia, how are you? Scotia still, Scotland still making your life a misery, mate?
Well, they cheered me up a wee bit on Wednesday there, but it was Armenia they were playing. But that's officially my last game of the season, Wednesday night. They're going along to actually watch the football. Got a couple of games to watch on the TV over the next week. But I've been okay. As I was saying to you off air, I've been kind of off the Rangers news a wee bit, so it'll be good to kind of chat and get into it because this week's been very Rangers light for me, which is a weird one, to be honest.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it has been strangely quiet. It's never usually as quiet as it has been, but it definitely has been. Hello, everybody in the comments. I can see you all coming in. So yeah, quickly on the Club at 22 day out the last weekend. A good day. I mean, it was a cracking day. Lads. It really was. It was good weather. It was great to all be together as well. Jamie and Tommy being along with us. But yeah, I wore shorts because it was warm, and so did Ryan, and so did Jamie, I think. And we attempted to go play a few games of pool in a certain place, and I was knocked back for wearing shorts, even though there was a guy sitting in shorts playing pool and drinking. So,
I mean, they were dress shorts, so.
Yes, they were dress shorts, yes. Which, as you can imagine, pleased me. I went from full calm enjoying my day to full mental at that point. But honestly, it was unbelievable that I couldn't really go over that. But it was a cracking day. I don't know what happened to you two. I think I was the Scotia was definitely the last one standing, as far as I'm aware.
I get out the casino at about 6 a.m. I get out the casino at about 6 a.m.
Yeah, I was. McDonald's, and I got a lift home. So yeah, there you go. That was kind of how the night went. But no, a really good day, cracking day. It was good all to be together and have a wee night out. But there's Ryan just appeared. That's his plus 10 my Jers points. He's saying yes, he has because he's in holiday. Yeah, mate. That
can't be that good if he's coming on to listen to us.
I know, listen to us. I know that's mental, isn't it? That is absolutely mental. But yes, so before we get into it, just a wee pointer to the channel membership, which is only 99p a month. You can buy the podcast a coffee as well as joining the Coffee Buying Legend membership. And you can get yourself some Club at 22 t-shirts like the one I am wearing, and you'll be doing the podcast a good turn in that. It's very good, the response we've had from it. Some of the t-shirts are only going to be available for a limited time only, so they will be changing from time to time because there's plenty of designs coming, because the podcast might have took some time off because of lack of Rangers, but I have left myself with very little to do, so I've tried to do as much as I can and design as many t-shirts as I can. There's going to be hoodies, looking at mugs. Everybody loves a mug, so we're looking at mugs as well. Carney. So yes, mate.
See the t-shirts you're designing?
Yes.
I reckon one that would fly off the shelves would be a picture of Scotia with Neil Oliver. He's one of our own. I think that would fly off the shelves.
Probably. Or just Scotia, this with the wee speech bubble. This is Scotland coming out of his mouth. Yeah, that one might do quite well. But yeah, as I say, all the links for all of that is below. So yes, that we asked a we asked for your questions. You've just responded as always. As I say, I know there's going to be plenty that's in the chat as well. I'll try my best to get to as many as I possibly can. But the people that have responded to the post, we'll start off with that one first. So the first one is a few from Ross McLean, who did it via the YouTube community tab. Ali, what player? I'll say player due to what we're about to come on to. What player is a must keep for next season and for Gio's playing style?
Ooh. I don't know. So many crucial players. I think Goldson's a big one, but obviously he's signed up, so I kind of take that out of the equation. So in terms of players maybe on year left in a contract, we know the guys that are left in a year. A must keep. Oof. He gets slagged a lot, but I'm going to go because he's a tin opener for me. Ryan Kent. But I think he could be one of the guys that could go, which I'm contradicting myself. But if I've asked to keep somebody, it'd be Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent all day long. I just think, I know he gets a raw deal at times, but he is a winger. They are in and out of form at times. But I know he didn't score many goals last season, but he contributes quite a lot in terms of assists to the team. I think he is critical to the way we play. When Ryan Kent isn't in the Rangers team, you notice he's not in the Rangers team. So, for me, it'd be Ryan Kent.
Yeah, mate, I think that's a cracking shout. But Ryan, again, it's holiday. It must be raining in Turkey or something. But he has come in with that is the one for me. And I know a lot of people give Alfredo a bit of stick, but I completely agree with Ryan. As Scotia seems to have. Did you leave the room there, Scotia? Or was this my Wi-Fi playing up again?
No, I've been here all the time.
No, he's still there. No, sorry.
Was there.
Apologies. Yeah, it was there, so it must be mine. For me, it's Alfredo Morelos. I don't think we can replace him in summer. I don't think we could replace Ryan Kent either, but I think Alfredo is going to come back absolutely fitter and wanting to get into it as much as he always does, or even more from that sense. So for me, Alfredo Morelos all day long is crucial for us next season. Scotia.
I have to agree with yourself. No, I have to agree with Ryan and Carney. It's got to be Alfie, based on the options that we've got in other positions. We've not really got other options up front because Roof's too injury prone, and if we lose Alfie, then you're going to have to go into the market to find a striker to replace him, which, as we know, is a very difficult thing to do. So for me, it has to be Alfie as well.
Yeah, it has to be Alfred, and Brian's justified himself by saying it's 8:30 at night here and the boys are stuffing their faces with dessert. The bar is calling shortly. I'm sure that's not the first you've had today, Ryan. Let's be honest, mate. You're on holiday, man, so I would be shocked at that. So cheers, Ross. He also asked as well, Scotia, I'll come back to you. Would you sacrifice selling 2 or 3 key players like Morelos, Aribo, Kent, Kamara, etc. for one game-changing signing? What's your thoughts on that?
I probably would, because to be honest, I've always been of the opinion that at least 2 out of those names that it's just rhymed off, plus a few others, were going to be leaving us this summer anyway. So if 2 of them go, and then we can get in someone that can, for instance, say it's a Kent and a Kamara that leave, if we can get in a player that maybe won't be as good as Kent is, but he's not far beneath that level, then I would certainly do that.
Yeah. Ali, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we'll need to sell in the summer regardless. I think at least one, we say the blue chip player all the time in here, but one will go. I've said the last couple of transfer windows had Kamara's one for me. I like Kamara, I think, especially in Europe, but I think he's replaceable for Rangers. He's on a decent contract. What we would get for Kamara in terms of money now, I don't know, because his form last season was up and down compared to the previous season where his stock was high. So I don't know what he'd be valued at. But yeah, if you could lose a Kamara, and I hate to say it because he's my main man, even a Joe Aribo or something, I would cash in on the guys if you could get a Ryan Kent on the right-hand side of that 3. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a Ryan Kent on the right-hand side, which we've talked about it. We've had umpteen players try that position, and they've done all right, but nobody's nailed that position down. I know Joe Aribo's there quite a lot, but he's pushed about recently. So, I would cash in 2 and as I say, bring a Ryan Kent on the right-hand side, if there is a Ryan Kent on the right-hand side, out and about in that world somewhere that we could get.
Yeah, I probably would as well. The only one I wouldn't sell is Morelos and Kent. Honestly, and I know they're just my 2 favourites.
Would it be worth selling Morelos now, though? Because he's got a year left. I mean, what's his value?
That's what I think, mate. And I think depending on how this season goes, we might be in with a chance of getting an extension out of him and then possibly selling him on from there. So I just don't think we can get somebody in right now that knows the team the way Morelos does and that would be able to make a real impact next season.
Because the way I look at Morelos is he's got a year left in his contract. What's his value for somebody coming this summer with a year left in his contract? Realistically, I'm going to put a figure of 8 million if we could get that.
Yeah, I'll just 8 to 10, mate. Yeah.
Well, I'll just say that. But what I'm going to say is, Alfredo Morelos could score as the goals that get us into the Champions League, which gets you that 30-35 million pound, and he could potentially go for a free in the summer. But we've got Champions League, so I think you need to weigh it up that way. So I would keep him even if his contract ran down and he left for free in next year.
The thing with Alfie's valuation as well. No, the thing with Alfie's valuation is that he's been out injured for the last couple of months, so he's not really played any football. So people wouldn't be willing to pay even as much as you would if they only had a year left in his contract. So you've got to keep that in mind, which I think I mentioned at the time might be a good thing in terms of being able to keep Alfie for longer because he's not going to be in the shop window as such, like the way that Calvin Bassey's been in the shop window.
Yeah. So I think. Yeah, I get the whole ethos behind it. I mean, I don't know the way the finances work. I think a lot of people were expecting big spend this summer. I don't think it will happen like that. I think we'll still sign a significant player for Scotland, if that makes sense. It will still be a substantial kind of transfer fee that we put out no matter what. But if we had to, in order to get a real game changer, then I think it would have to be done because we've been lacking it now. We really have been lacking it now. So I would say yes, that definitely has to happen. Right, Magic, we'll move on. Second up was Nathan from Instagram. He said keep and sell on individual players would be good. Also, Ross's first question kind of does tie into this. So this is going to be kind of quick fire. I explained this to the lads before it. There is so many questions about different players, and I've tried to incorporate it all into this one section. So we'll see how this goes. This could be a disaster, but we'll do quick fire. If there's a question on a certain player, we'll stop and we'll ask that question, etc. And all we're going to do is keep, sell, or loan. And all I have done is take the squad list from the Rangers website. So that's all we are running on just now. So. And the first player has a question. It's McGregor. Barry Mackay from Facebook asked, if McGregor doesn't sign a new deal, do we need to sign another keeper? And John Lammy from YouTube asked, said, hey guys, I'm looking forward to the pod tomorrow. I was wondering what your thoughts were on Alan McGregor extending his contract for another year. And do you think Alan's game time would be limited? Or do you think he'll play most games? So, Ali, I'll come back to you. Do you keep Alan McGregor or does he go?
I can elaborate on this one. No, I don't need to give just a short answer.
Yes, you can. You can elaborate on this one.
You know me, it's hard for me to give a short answer, especially in that quick one. But I'll do my best for that one. But McGregor, it's a hard one. To me, McLaughlin's number one next season, regardless, right? So John McLaughlin's my number one next season. If Alan McGregor came back as a Jermaine Defoe coach, third choice goalkeeper, for next to nothing. And I think it would be next to nothing, McGregor. He's made his money in football. He loves Rangers, so he wouldn't be on any decent money. I'd take him for a season. If it was a coach role, and I would promote McCrory to number 2. So I'd have McGregor as number 3. McCrory needs a pathway. I mean, we all know Scotia's love for Scotland. So, I mean, I see McCrory get called up for Scotland, which is good for the boys. So at least he's been noticed. If he was, like I say, if it was a coaching role, and he was third choice, yes, because I think McCrory has to see a pathway to this. Because what age is McCrory now? He must be, I don't know, 22, 23 maybe, I don't know.
Maybe,
so for me, McLaughlin's number 1, McCrory is number 2, and if Alan McGregor comes in a coaching facility, is number 3.
Fair enough. I don't know if McGregor's interested in coaching. I've honestly got no idea. I don't know if that's really his bag.
Imagine him as a coach; he'd be miserable.
I know. I know it doesn't really. Obviously, he's going to be completely different on the training pitch, isn't he, than what he is when he plays? But I don't know if it's something that he really particularly wants. For me, McGregor, I think this would be the right time for him to go. I think what's really left for him to achieve. I don't think it would be particularly fair on McLaughlin for McGregor to stick around. I think if McLaughlin is going to be number one, he has to be number one, and the former number one can't really be there, if that makes any sort of sense. I think it would be a wee bit unfair on him. McCrory is a difficult one because we all thought that he was going to be the next number one, and I'm not sure that he will be. So a long way around that to get an answer from me is no, I would not keep McGregor, and yes, I would be looking to recruit a number 2 or 3 for the rest of it, because I think McCrory could have a decision to make whether he's going to stick around or not. So, but I think this would be the right time for McGregor to go. Scotia.
Yes, I'm in agreement as well. I think McGregor probably should just hang up his boots and I wouldn't even consider the coaching role for him, or like player coach role, because in general they don't ever really work out. Obviously Defoe's didn't work out overly great when he was the kind of player coach role, and looking around the league, Scott Brown was terrible as the player coach. It kind of seemed to lose his focus and things like that. So I would let McGregor hang up his gloves even, because he's finished the season in quite a high, getting that Scottish Cup appearance, playing in the Europa League final. And I think as well, if you think back to Davy Weir, he probably stayed on a season too long, and it kind of then puts a bit of detraction on your sort of contribution to the club. So I would be happy enough if McGregor just decided to call time in his playing days. And then in terms of the keepers going forward, again, I'd be very happy with McLaughlin as my number 1. He's had quite a decent, I think he's had something in the range about 25 clean sheets sort of in his whole time playing with Rangers. Obviously some of that's been against lower opposition and but he's barring, I think there was one mistake he made against St Johnstone earlier in the season. Barring that, I don't think he's done really anything wrong when he was playing last year. And then again, quite happy for McCrory to be my number 3 or my number 2 even, sorry. He's got 100% clean sheet record this season for the 2 games that obviously he played in. Again, he was at Celtic, was it Brøndby as well he was in for, or Lyon, one of the European games. Mm-hmm. So be happy with that. And then as well, what you've got to remember, obviously Andy Firth, the much fabled Andy Firth, is left Rangers now, but we've got him like Vadanukas in the B team, and is it Kieran Wright is the other keeper in there as well, I think. So there are options in the backup for one of them to then become kind of what McCrory was last season. So I think we're okay in the goalkeeping front.
Scotia. Paul in the chat was asking about McLaughlin, why he wasn't called up for the Scotland squad. Is he injured, or do you know? Obviously,
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It did surprise me when I heard during the week that McCrory was potentially in for a call up and why McLaughlin wasn't. The only thing that can maybe come to mind is that McLaughlin, because he wasn't called up for the game against Ukraine last week, that he's maybe just went on holiday, so he's not available for selection. That was my only thought, but I don't know. That's me pure speculating.
Yeah, my response to why was he not called up will probably annoy quite a lot of Scotland fans, so I won't say it. I won't say it, but it's all to do with Steve Clark. It's all to do with Steve Clark. Let's put it that way. Gallant Pioneer said, "I imagine McGregor on Sky's up under."
Him and Roy Keane together.
I would watch Burnley v St Johnstone just to see Alan McGregor as a pundit. I think it would be absolutely tremendous. I really do. Right, we'll move on. This will be quite quick, I would imagine, because considering what we just spoke about. Ali, McCrory.
Yeah.
Keep. Scotia.
Keep.
Yeah, keep. McLaughlin, keep. Ali, keep. Scotia, keep. Yeah.
Keep.
Right. Defenders, obviously, Suter speaks for himself. Tavernier, I think, speaks for himself. And we'll stop at Calvin Bassey. So I have not noted down who asked this question. I'm really sorry about this. I think it was Nick Wall. I'll try and find that. I think it was Nick that's asked this. Presuming Bassey stays, do you see his best position at left back or centre back? He was superb in the middle in the in the Europa League. But with Goldson now staying and Suter arriving, I think he's probably more likely to play as a full-back. Scotia, I'll come to you. Is he a centre-back or a left-back next year?
I think he'd probably be my first choice left-back if he was staying around, but I've got a wee sneaky suspicion that we're going to start playing 3 at the back a wee bit more regularly the next season. Just based on the players that have come in. So ideally it would be as the left back and first choice left back, but again, no concern with him going into the left centre back role.
Yeah, Ali.
Yeah, same as Scotia. I think to me he's a left back, Bassey, but I'm the same as the two of you. I was speaking to Stuart Watt today, Karen, and I was saying about I could potentially see us playing this 3 at the back. I just think with Golds and Suter, Bassey, I think we've got decent players to play it now. As in beforehand, we've not really. And I could see that happening next season. I really could with Rangers. So, yeah, for me, his best position is a left back, but I can see him playing that left side of a 3 at the back.
I can't disagree with anything both of you have said. I would just only be echoing it. I think I completely agree. See, if I'm going to be honest, see if he wants to play him as a centre back, I'm fine with that. See if he wants to play him as a left back,
striker if he wanted.
I'm fine with that too. This is all about just trying to keep the lad. I think Rangers are going to need to work really hard. I generally do. I think we're going to need to work extremely hard to try and keep him at the club. But yeah, I'm not really bothered where he plays. But if it was the conventional 4-3-3, if you like, and I know it's not that, tacticians will be going off their nut at me calling that, but you know what I mean, the way we kind of set up, I would have him as my left back, with Suter and Goldson probably. Right, move on. Interesting one, this one, Scotia, Hollander.
Leave, or sell even.
Yeah, Ali.
Same, leave, sell.
Yeah, me too. That's 3. I would sell Hollander. Goldson speaks for himself. Simpson speaks for itself. I'm not even going to ask. He's
got 2 years left in his contract, Simpson.
I know. He's going to be here forever. He's going to be the new Brandon Barker. I'm telling you, he really is.
Yeah, but Bobo Balby will just sit in the stand taking money.
I know. Zukowski. This is a weird one. I'll come to you, right, Ali? Zukowski.
Loan.
Scotia.
I'd keep him.
We've not seen him though. We've seen him against
once. We've seen him once. Backup, but we need backup for Tab. We need backup for Tab because there's only one other player that I think could be backup for Tab.
Glenn Kamara can play right back apparently, never can he?
Who?
Glenn Kamara, never were told. Gerard told us he can play right back.
So. No, I don't think he can. No. Zukowski, probably loan as well. However, I did hear rumours that he's struggling to settle here, so he might go. I don't know, but we've not really seen enough of him. So, but I would have if we can get a loan out for him with a clause that if anything happens to Tav, he can come back, then I would do that. I would do that. Yeah, Divine. That's a good shout. Yeah, Divine. Possibly. So yeah, a loan for Zukowski. Again, another interesting one. Ali Barisic.
Sell.
Scotia.
He's got 2 years left. I'd keep him.
I would sell him. I think it's time for him to.
Was Ryan in the group chat? Thought Ryan would be in there.
No. I think he's away at the bar now. I think he said cheerio. He's away for the bar. And King, I would keep. Ali,
keep.
Scotia.
Loan.
Oh, fourth choice for me.
Right now, to me, genuinely, I think he's my third choice centre back. Is that right?
Scotia, yes, he would need, if he went on loan, I would send him if I had to. I don't want to, but if he had to go on loan, I'd send him to our Hearts. That's where I'd send him. Somewhere.
Yeah, but to be honest, an awful lot of these kind of questions are all predicated on the fact of who goes and who stays. So
yes, I know.
That's the main thing. Because like if Bassey goes, then or if Bassey stays, you've got kind of 4 centre halves there anyway.
Yeah, but Scotia, I've said that that wouldn't be much of a podcast if we went keep. Oh, but if X, Y, Z, 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 Y, X, Y, Z doesn't happen, like, come on, be in the moment, man. But no, I would keep King. But it also leads on to a question from David Logan from on Facebook. He asked, "Who are your top 4 centre backs for next season? Goldson, Suter, Hollander, and King. Keep Bassey at left back. I'm assuming he's still here, of course. So." If that is going to be a back 4, Ali, you just said that he's your 4th choice. So are you in agreement with that list? That your 4 are Goldson, Suter, Hollander, and King in that order?
Yeah. It is,
sorry.
I'd punt Hollander if I had the choice. Like I said earlier, I'd punt Hollander and bring another centre half in. But as it is at the moment, yeah, that's my 4.
Yeah, I would have King above Hollander because I don't know, something about Hollander just now just doesn't seem quite right because he seems to have disappeared. So it doesn't seem quite right to me. Scotia, is that you? What's your order of centre backs of who we have just now? Anyway,
Jack Simpson.
Yeah, if we were talking just about those 4, it would probably be Goldson, Suter, Hollander, King. Don't know if Katic is hovering in and around the King position there potentially.
Yeah, Katic. Actually, by the way, before we move, I forgot about Katic. Why is he not on that list?
You might as well say him now then.
Yeah, Katic. Oh God, I don't know about Katic. I did see that he put up a post on Instagram and it was with the yellow mitre balls. So he's obviously back in Scotland doing some training, I would imagine, because that's the balls we use, isn't it? No other league's going to use a yellow mitre ball, surely, apart from us. Well, surely. So it must be us. So he's back. Oh, I don't know. Whoa. I would get rid of Hollander and keep Katic, Ali.
I'd sell.
Oh, people hate you for that, Scott.
Well, if we want to go to the next level, is he good enough?
That's true. No, that's true. I don't know because I've not. Again, mate, I've not watched them.
I don't think he was over great with the team he went on loan. He was kind of in and out of that team, to be honest.
Yeah, Scotia, you?
Yeah, well, because I'm letting Hollander go, then I would keep Katic because he would be the only other kind of left-sided player. Obviously, not including Bassey in that conversation. Plus, as well, I don't think obviously Gio's not really had a chance to see him, has he? Because he was out on loan when Gio came in. So it's one of these ones where I think Gio will have a look at him early in pre-season, a couple of friendly games, and then but I would keep him personally.
Yeah, that's good. All right, before I go any further onto the midfield, it's time for the Manscaped promo. Summer is here, the sun is shining, shirts are off, and your friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your beach balls are as smooth as Floridian sand. Dive head first into summer by joining the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and get ready for summer by going to manscaped.com and use the code CLUB@22 for 20% off and free shipping. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to prepare that summer bod. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver, which is Scotia's favourite. Manscaped have also just launched their new Boxers 2.0, and all of us in the pod can agree that they are possibly the best boxers that we own right now. Take a look at the Manscaped Shears 2.0, a package that has everything you need to look pristine. Nail cutters, tweezers and grooming scissors. With the performance package, your balls will be ready to impress. Make sure you cover the rest with the Shears 2.0 and you'll be ready to perform from head to toe. Also, Father's Day is just around the corner, so ladies, get your man's dad bod a gift that will have both of you thanking Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping by using the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. Ali, what will your balls do?
They will thank you.
They will, thank you. Thank you again to Manscaped for the continued support. The products are absolutely superb, and genuinely their new boxers are great. They are really, really good. They are the best pair that I own. So go check it out, and by using our code, you'll be supporting our podcast. Right, gentlemen, now that is out the road, we will move on to the midfield. Whew. Scotia, Lowry.
Keep.
Sorry, Justin's asked, can I ship across the pond? Yes, I can. I don't know how much it costs, though, but I will find out for you. I will genuinely find out for you. Yes, I'm not 100%. It shouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't imagine. It shouldn't be an issue. So, yes, no, definitely. I'll be able to ship across the pond. Definitely. I keep me too. Keep Ali, Lowry. Yeah, keep. John Lundstrom speaks for himself. Yanis Hadji, me, sell. Ali?
Sell and use the money to bring somebody else in.
Agreed. Scotia?
I'd keep him because I'll just quickly in this one keep him because his dad's come out and said that he's maybe even 3 and 4 months away from getting back from injury. So you can't really sell him or loan him when he's injured. So it'll be a keep.
That's fair enough. Look, I get it with Hadji. I do. I just I think it's going to just be too much. I do. I just think it's going to be a bit long for him to get back to where we need him to be. You couldn't sell him now, even if you want to. You couldn't sell him. Who's going to buy him? Do you know what I mean?
Teams would want to see what he's like.
Yeah, Galatasaray are maybe the only team that would take a punt on him purely for his name. That is it. So no, but if he was fit, I would probably be selling him, and a lot of people don't like that. But I've never been wowed by him. That's the only thing I'll say. Ryan Jack for me, keep. Ali?
I keep.
Scotia?
Yeah, keep.
No, I know why he's thinking about it though, because he's injury prone. Do you know what I mean?
Said to the guest.
Is he? Oh, so he is. He pulled out Scotland top. So he did. Yeah. Mate, he just wanted to go on holiday, didn't he? Let's be honest.
He is on holiday, actually. I seen it on Instagram.
I'm not fucking going to play for Scotland. I'm away on my holiday. Do you know what I mean? So, no. Davis speaks for himself. Obviously, he's just signed a new deal. We had our say on him. And then Aribo, and I'm going to stop on Aribo to add a question in from William Stewart on Facebook. What player should the Gels cash in on? Joe Aribo for me. I think Rangers could get quite a considerable amount from an English team from him. And I don't know. I just feel like he might be coming towards the end of his time as well. I think he was superb at the start of last season. He played a ridiculous amount of games of football last year. I know he did, but I think it might be getting to that point on him. And I think we could not replace somebody with maybe his touch and his kind of skill that he has, but somebody to really, as to steal Ali's phrase, unlock doors. I think we really could get somebody for the money that we could get for Aribo. So if I was to cash in on one player right now, it would be Joe Aribo for me. Ali?
Nice. It's my favourite player, Joe Aribo, in the Rangers team at the moment. I know the second half of the season he wasn't great, but he did appear the last 5-6 weeks, I would say, and he was playing up through the middle himself, and he did well, Joe Aribo, because that's not his position. But yeah, we've been good for Joe Aribo, and Joe Aribo's been good for us, to be honest, for what we paid. I know Lee Bowyer says he was a waste of time, him coming up to Scotland, so he's got egg in his face, Lee Bowyer, about that. Look what he's achieved with Rangers. I don't know what his value would be, Aribo, because, again, he's got a year left in his contract. I don't know what bracket he falls into, 8 million or something, possibly. I really don't know, but it pains me to say it, Carney. It really does, because I love Joe Aribo. I think he's brilliant. Yeah. I would sell him. I think too many big games he doesn't show up, Joe Aribo, for me. And, I would sell him.
Scotia?
Yeah, round off the set by saying Aribo would be one of the ones I would sell as well. I think it's the time's just come to that conclusion. To be honest, we probably should have sold him last season, in all honesty, when his value was at its peak. But I think with having a year left, with having a year left in the contract situation, we're quite heavy for players in and around the kind of attacking midfield, right hand side, the attacking mid anyway. So I would say that he's probably our most sellable asset at the moment.
Yeah, I would go along with that. Right, we'll move on. What's a tough one? Glenn Kamara. I'll go first with this. I think he has to stay for Europe, because we'll come to this later on as well. We'll do a question, but for Europe, he's a kind of different player than he is in the league, and him and Lundstrom and midfield seems to really quite work for European games. I don't like him as a further forward player. I like him as a proper number 8. Generally, as a proper number 8. Lundstrom is the 6. If you want to use old cliches, as the 6. Kamara is the 8, and somebody else is the 10. So I would keep Glenn Kamara. Ali?
Oh, he's the one that I say we can sell and replace, I think. So I'm
probably
going to contradict myself here when I say I keep him. But we could replace him. I think I would keep him because I think Gio likes him. Like you say, I think he's critical in Europe. I think he's suited to European football. Yeah, he wasn't overly great last season, but the season before he was outstanding, Glenn Kamara, in the league as well. So, and he's still quite young, Glenn Kamara. I would keep him, but at the same time, if somebody offered us decent money in the summer, I would sell him. So I'm kind of sitting on the fence here, but
fair enough.
That's fine.
Kamara. That's fine, mate.
Kamara, I've toyed with this one while you've been speaking. I think I would keep him this season, and the only reason for that is that he's still got 3 years left in his contract. Because he just signed a new deal. Was it beginning of last season he signed a new deal? So because he's got 3 years, I would keep him because his value won't go down that much over the course of this season. It would maybe be different if he was on a 2-year contract, but because he's on a 3, I'd keep him for this season.
Sorry, excuse me, I'm closing that window because it's turned into monsoon season outside my house right now. The wind was picking up. Also, right, we'll move on to Sands. Now, what's the deal with him? Is he loaned?
He's got another year left in his loan.
Yeah.
And
he'll not buy kind of thing.
Yeah, he'll stay for another year because you might as well keep him. He's already here, so I'd imagine he'll still be a squad player. So keep Ali.
Yeah, keep and give him next season. See what it's like. Yeah.
Gosha.
Yeah, keep.
Yeah. Right for me. Keep Ali.
Keep as an impact player, not as a starter.
Scotia.
Keep as well.
Yeah. Offerbaugh, I mean, that's a difficult one because I've never seen the guy play football and obviously what he's went through. I don't know. Generally, I don't. This one is he might end up on loan if he's fit enough to play football because he's not played anything really at all for Rangers. Or been involved in that much. Difficult one. I don't know, Ali.
He's got 2 years left in his contract. Can he play football again? Rangers might come to an agreement to terminate it. He's got a contract, so he might as well sit on it. So if he can play football, I would loan him. Gary
Muncher's asking me to get some WD from Scotia.
I know that chair keeps squeaking. I know.
Yes,
I've not sat on it much this week, so it's been underused. So that's why.
That's true. Like a podcast, mate. No, I'll order you some, mate, from Amazon and get it sent down to you for sure. I offer boss. It's a difficult one, Scotia, isn't it? Like, what do we do?
Yeah, to be honest, I think the Offerborough one's probably going to come to a mutual termination. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, which is a shame, a real shame for him. But I mean, right now he's just got to make sure he gets back to full health and enjoy a bit of his life because some of his pictures were not good at all, man. Like the Instagram pictures were unbelievable. Scott Arfield obviously speaks for himself. He is staying no matter what, and that's us. We'll move on to forwards now. Question from David Logan on Facebook regarding a striker. We've been reportedly linked with the links with Ross Stewart from Sunderland. He thinks he would be a good addition to the squad. I'm not going to lie. I know little about him. I don't know much about him. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people saying he would be a good addition. Some people saying we should be aiming higher. So, Ali, what do you think? Is he good enough to come in as a proper second choice forward? Do you know much about him?
Yeah, well, obviously played for Ross County. I've seen him in a couple of games for Sunderland when I've watched some of their games in Sky Sports when there's been absolutely nothing to watch. But he's done well in Sunderland, but there's League One. Sunderland should be winning that league with the finance they have. But nah, he's a no for me, Ross Stewart. I know he's a Rangers fan, Ross Stewart as well, apparently. But nah, I don't know if he would suit how we play. I know he's a bigger target. If you want to say an hitting kind of type player, would he? Nah, he's a no for me, Ross Stewart. I think we need to be aiming for better players than him. And that's no disrespect to the boy because he might go on for Sunderland in the Championship and score a barrel of goals and make it into the Premiership for some days. So you never know. But no, we'll get a look at him when we play them in a friendly, but it's a no for me.
Yeah, as I say, I don't know too much about him. So, well, since he's went to Sunderland, as I say,
he scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, well, I'm no
25 this season, I think.
Everybody knows I'm the most naive of football fans. I watch Rangers, and that's about it, really. I don't watch much else. Scotia's the one for that. So, Scotia, Ross Stewart, tell me about him, impress me, convince me that he's the right guy for the job.
Well, don't really watch League One down south, so I don't know.
Scotia, honestly.
I think the big problem for me with Ross Stewart is that he's now going to cost a significant amount more money than he would have if we'd taken him from Ross County. Because I know there were wee kind of stuff going on, and people were kind of saying on Twitter and the like that when he was at Ross County, is this a player we should be looking at? And that's the time that you probably could bring him in. Because if you're being honest, he's probably as good, if not better, than Cedric Itten. So obviously, with Itten leaving, it's that kind of backup player that you've got. I mean, there's obviously issues with our striker and how we play that we always know. There's one man for the job, really. I think the money from Sunderland, now that they're promoted up to the Championship, they'll just be looking for too much. Because he only signed for them, what was it, last season or the season before?
Yeah.
It's going to be, what, 5 million plus?
For a Championship player?
Yeah,
6 million plus. I just don't see that happening. I don't see Rangers paying that. I really don't. Could be wrong. I don't know. To say I don't know the full details of what's going on. Rangers on tour made a point there. Where did it go? It just disappeared. I'd rather Sims over Ross Stewart. Again, I don't know. I mean, Sims looked decent enough, but again, you're not. How much are we going to need to pay for him from Everton? It's going to be exactly the same kind of situation. So, Ali, would you go along with that? Sims over Ross Stewart?
It looks decent in the Hearts team, Sims, but would he make the jump to us? I don't know. Do you know what it reminds me of, Carney? Remember that Ichi Pichi, I used to call him at Hearts, but
Yes.
What's his name? Ike Piazza, whatever his name was. I used to call him Ichi Pichi. Yeah. To me, we always looked at him and thought, oh, he might do a job. And a lot of these guys, that's their level, I think. And I know he's come from Everton, that boy, and he has looked decent, to be fair, but no, I just think we need to be aiming a bit better than that.
Yeah, Scotia. Your thoughts on that?
Between Sims and Stewart, I would go with Stewart. But one of my main reasons behind that is Sims English, isn't he? So he would take up a space in your European squad, whereas Stewart is a Scottish homegrown player, so he wouldn't take up one of those spots. So it means that someone else kind of further back in the team isn't missing out. So you always kind of you forget about, but it can hit you.
Mr. Tommy,
I'm surprised.
Just made that point. The main thing Ross Stewart has in his favour is the homegrown European status. So I don't go, Ali.
Well, CGM 55, I think it was there. Was on about the boy Charles Regan Cook or something that played with Ross County last season. Scored a barload of goals. I'm surprised nobody had a wee bite at him because he's away a team in Belgium, I think. But he scored a lot of goals for Ross County and he looked decent against us. I'm surprised maybe nobody had a wee bite at him because you could have got at him for next to nothing, to be honest. So yeah.
This one as well, this question, I'm going to pretty much nail it on the head from the start because Gregor Tweed asked regarding a forward, as did Rob from Instagram, whose birthday is coming very soon. So happy birthday, Rob, when it comes. Will Gers be daft enough to sign Bale? And do you think there's any truth in it? No, there is no truth in it. Gareth Bale is not coming to Rangers. That is not going to happen. It's a complete non-starter for me. Ali?
No.
No chance.
Just no chance. He's a really good player and everything, but not
for me. Not even the cost of the wages. No, it's just a non-starter. He's not coming. I think you get more chance of seeing him at Villa than you do have seen him here. I think he would go to a team like Villa more than he would come to Scotland. So Scotia
or America or something.
Yeah, Scotia. It's just not going to happen, is it?
No, not for me. Obviously, he's out of contract in the next couple of weeks at Real Madrid. So the amount of money that he can get in a signing on fee for like a Premiership club and stuff, and he'll be looking for a club because he'll obviously want to get game time before Wales go to the World Cup in December. So no, it won't happen.
I have seen this. The picture of Bale on Kerrydale.
It looked very realistic, didn't it?
Absolutely tremendous. It did look very realistic. Yes, it did.
He was going to that Harry Styles concert. That's what he was doing.
There's also, while we're on the Kerrydale meltdown thing, if any of you've got Twitter, go onto it and obviously follow it because it's brilliant material. It really is. But there's a thread on UEFA giving Rangers the 150-year wee ribbon plaque thing. Oh, honestly, the comments, read all the responses. I sat for a good 15, 20 minutes on work today just laughing my head off at it. It is absolutely tremendous. Comedy gold, it really is. Right, we'll move on. Kent, keep for all three, yes.
Keep.
Morelos, keep for all three, yes. Roof, Ali?
Sell in a minute.
Because he's injury prone, I take it.
Can't trust him. He's a good striker, Kamar Roof, but we can't have a guy that's fit for 5 games and out for 6 games, whatever it is. So, no, sell him.
Scotia?
I'd sell him, but that's predicated by the fact that we would need another striker in. So
we do anyway. Yeah, we need another striker. Yeah. So you mean you would need another 2 strikers, is what you're saying?
Potentially, yeah.
I think we need 2 strikers as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. I think if Roof goes, yeah, I would say sell. Don't know. He's goals though, isn't he? I mean, he is. I know he's injury prone, but he has goals.
And he must be in a decent wage, can't he? I honestly think we could recoup his money and somebody half decent.
Going by his Instagram video that he did today for his holiday that he went on. My luxury, man. I was like, what? Unbelievable. I'm like, all right, very good. How the other half live, I suppose. But yeah, difficult one. And Sakala, and this question comes from our very own Ryan Haymarsh. March, even I'll get shouted at for not saying his name right. To each of you, will fashion Sakala be a success at Rangers next season? I think he will be an impact best, and I would not be shocked if he left. Ali?
Yeah, we all slagged Lee at the beginning of the season when Lee said to us that he's never Rangers class, said he was hopeless basically. We were like, oh, give him a chance, Lee, and he was kind of right, Lee, to be honest. He's one of the, he's not young, he's not a young boy, Sika, he's 25. Yeah, you will be there next season. I think he'll do basically what he's done this season with Rangers. I think we'll just see the same Sakala. He'll be brilliant one game, absolute garbage the next game. You'll see flashes of brilliance and flashes of garbage. So I think that's what he is, Sakala. But yeah, I don't think he'll be at Rangers long. I really don't. But he will be there next season. Yeah,
I think he'll still be here, yes, but look, his figures are decent, man. They are decent, but something about his end product just it frustrates the life out of me, man. Like I'm like, just cash on target for when you need it. Like, and there's nothing against him. I think
that Old Firm game where he scored, I think that whole game summed up Fashion Sakala. That was Fashion Sakala in a nutshell, that game.
Yeah. There's people making comments. A lot of people defend him. They do. A lot of people do defend Fashion Sakala.
Good song.
He does have a good song, but yeah, for me, I don't know. I just think we could have a better option than him. Scotia, Sakala.
I'd probably keep him at the moment. Right at the moment, because of who we've got available and things, I would keep him because he can play off the left as well if Kent's not available. He can play through the middle, and it's been okay at times coming in off the right. But no, I'd keep him.
Rangers on tours made that. I don't agree with that. Sakala has got a better end product than Kent.
No, he doesn't.
In terms of getting a shot on target, I think they're both just as bad as each other right now. But in terms of assists, I think Kent's miles better than Sakala at that. Miles better.
Yeah, well, Sakala's got 12 goals last season.
Yeah.
Kent got
14 assists. Yeah.
Kent's record in front of goals terrible, in my opinion. He should be hitting a lot of higher numbers.
He needs to stop wearing square boots and actually wear a boot that fits his feet so he can curl the ball, because he should have scored a barrel load. He really should have. But yeah. Right. So that's us at the end of that. I don't think I've missed anybody as end off that list. I didn't even really go back over the list to make sure. I think that's everyone. I think we've mentioned everyone. Yeah. Yes, we have. Somebody's put up Kent. Yeah, we have put up Kent. I'm sure we all want to
go. I mean, there is players out on loan, like youth players like Stephen Kelly, Jake Hasty, Scott Ibrox. I mean, it's like I would like to get
my dinner tonight. Yeah. No offense to everybody, but I would like to get my dinner tonight. So the next one is from Kim. And from Vivis on YouTube, and they're quite similarly quite similar questions. Kim asked, what are the top 3 key changes to make next season for league success? And Viv's was, what are the key areas of the team we need to strengthen next season? Scotia, I'll give you that one first. So the top 3 changes you would make, and where are the key areas of them changes?
Yeah, well, kind of touched on one just there, that our attacking midfield players and even our midfield players to an extent need to be contributing more goals to the team, because it all really fell down in Tav, Alfie, Roof when he was available, and a wee bit of Sakala. I think your likes of Kennett, Aribo, Kamara to some extent, Lundstrom, Jack, they all need to be scoring more goals than they did last season. Also in that, we need to be more solid defensively and not have these daft mistakes that we seem to have all the time last season, which, looking at what's coming in, I think we can maybe do that defensively. And then final thing for me in terms of 3 things to change is I think there's been at times where we've not made the best use of our squad. I've mentioned it previously, but there was those games against, was it Dundee? We had them successively in the league and the cup just before Alfie got injured, and Alfie was playing in games that I didn't know why he was playing in. I think at times Gio gets stuck in using the same players too regularly and not bringing in Wright a wee bit earlier than I ended up having it because he was forced to bring in Wright. So I would maybe do that in terms of changes for league success.
Yeah. Alistair, again, what are the top 3 changes and where are the key areas for that next season?
Similar to Scotia, right mid for me, or right wing, whatever you want to say. That's a no-brainer, that one. That's the top one for me. So that one. A striker, like Scotia says, that can come in for Morelos and you won't notice Morelos isn't there, because last season we noticed when Morelos wasn't there. So we need to replace somebody that can come in and fill his boots. So that's my second one. And my third one would be the middle of the park, similar to Scotia, a guy that scores goals, a tin opener, similar to a Joe Aribo type, but somebody that will score goals and a bit of magic, a playmaker type for the midfield. So that would be my 3. Because I think defensively, at the moment, as long as we keep everyone, I think we're fine there.
Yeah, I think if Hollander goes, possibly another centre-back. And then I would agree with you. We've been screaming. How long have we been screaming for a right attacking player? Honestly, How long have we been screaming for that? What are you going to say, Scotia?
One of the things I was thinking about was the left back, because obviously that boy Maxwell that was out on loan at Partick Thistle, he's now left the club. So we've not really, apart from once you're after Bassi and Barisic, there's not really anyone in there at left back that you would immediately jump out at you. And then one of them, potentially, based on what we've said and based on the comments, one of them 2 could be away in the summer. So left back's potentially a place that we need to look at.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, left back possibly is. Yeah. As I say, I think it's difficult. It is quite difficult because it's so easy to go strikers. Goals. Somebody to score goals. But we've got to remember Alfredo's coming back as well. So one key change that I would make is give Lowry a chance, man. Honestly, give this boy a chance because he's so impressive. He really is. Just give him a chance. Take the risk on it.
He's especially that playmaker type, though, Carney. He's the playmaker type that I'm talking about.
Especially, I mean, I don't mean fling him into playing 70 games like the Aribo would do, but give him the chance against I hate saying this, like the lesser SPFL teams. Like, give him a chance, give him a run in the cup against the teams and whatever else, and let's really see what he can do, because he'll lose interest, and I would hate to see him go prematurely. I would hate to see him go prematurely, because I think he will go, because I think he's going to be a right talent, but he's got something about him, and I would love to see more of him. Absolutely love to see more of him. So yeah, again, I agree with pretty much what you have said, and probably Lowry. Yeah, Lowry. Sorry, I get distracted there. Curry's just said, when's the wee one due? Very soon. Very, very soon. Yes, very soon. Any minute now, mate. Literally, every time I hear a wee knock at the door, I'm like, I'm waiting for her to tell me. Every time my phone goes and I'm out at work, I get a panic. But it is extremely soon, mate. Extremely soon. So, right. We'll move on. This is going to be pretty much our final one, if we've got any more coming in, but just due to the time. Michael Morgan asked, what are our expectations for this season and what's our best 11 from the current squad if all fit? So from what we have right now. So Ali, what are your expectations this season? And then I'll let you have a wee think about your best 11.
Win the league's a must. That's priority 100%. Number one. Get that league title back. So that's 100% the priority. We got that monkey off our back with the cups last season, but I want a cup again next season. Either it's League Cup, Scottish Cup. So it's a double for me next season and getting into that Champions League. That's my three key things for next season.
Yeah, Scotia.
Yeah, League and League Cup double are the minimum that I want in domestically. And then expectations for Europe next season. Yeah, I would say qualifying for the Champions League I don't want that to happen, but I think just based on the whole season in Europe, being in the latter stages post-Christmas of the European competition, preferably Champions League or Europa League. That's what I want minimum, because I was looking at the Champions League groups. I've got Monaco, Sturm Graz, that Union Saint-Gilloise, and probably Midtjylland that we face in the first playoff round, and then it'll be whoever we don't beat in that if they get through, and then Benfica, PSV, and Dynamo Kiev to get into the Champions League proper. So, that's doable based on our performances in Europe the last few seasons. So yeah, I think Champions League group stages, and then at least Europa League kind of after that, finishing third in the Champions League wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I would go along with that. League is a absolute must. We have to win the league. A cup would be good. I'm not bothered about the League Cup or the Scottish Cup, not really first. And yeah, Champions League qualification. I think that's also a must. We have to get into the group stages, and then if we do manage to get there, hopefully the draws on our side and we can get out of the group would be massively beneficial financially for the club. And then if not that, then a good serious run in Europe, like a proper run again towards the quarter-final, semi-final stages again, because we've shown we can compete at this level, and Ibrox is a fortress, to use the footballing cliche, when it comes to that. So yeah, I would go along with that. Right, best 11 so far. So we'll go with the kind of formation that we have, just that we know that we usually play. So I'll name the back five because I'm presuming will be the same. So McLaughlin, Tavernier, Goldson, Suter, and Bassey. That's our back five, yes?
Yeah.
Scotia?
Yeah.
You Jack Simpson in there, Scotia?
I was like, what are you thinking about?
No, it's just because both Suter and Goldson are both right-sided players, but I think both are good enough to play as a two in a back four. Yeah,
I think Goldson will stay on the right, and I think Suter will play on the left. I'm presuming that because he'll not want to break up the Tav and Goldson thing on the right hand side because it's been so long. Like it would be a daft to do so. So yeah, midfield we'll do the kind of usual formation of what we'd usually play. So Lundstrom, Jack and or Kamara, because I think Kamara's maybe better in Europe. So I think that's your kind of three you would have a choice from. If I had to pick one, I'm always going to pick Ryan Jack. Right, Ali, who's your midfield two there?
Same, to be honest. Of what we've got to pick from, it's the same. Yeah. Of those two, of the two you're talking about, yeah, that I'd agree with that.
So your number 10, if you like. I know I'm going to say tacticians will be going off on that. Number 10 for me right now, even if it's difficult, man. If Hadji was fit, and I know I've said I would sell Hadji, but obviously if he's still going to be here, then potentially Hadji in there for me, and or Lowry. I would quite like to see Lowry get a run there. Yeah, that's what I'll go. It's a tough one between the two. Scotia, usually between the two.
Yeah, from a number 10 spot would be probably Hadji at the moment, but then Lowry would certainly be very competitive.
Never. You're never picking Hadji, Scotia. I think it is between the two. And my reason for that, Ali, is because I would play a Rebo out on the right. What's your thoughts?
I'd play Lowry. I think the boy, we've seen enough of him last season. I think he's ready to make a step up. Not to play every single week, I'm talking here, but I think he can play a good 30 games next season at least. Games at Ibrox against Ross Counties, St Mirren's, and Johnstone's, he can run the show in A games. So
I agree.
He's my 10, and I agree with you, Carney, because Joe Rabel's better out on the right-hand side of the three, so I agree with that.
And the other two would be Morelos and Kent. Scotia in to disagree with there?
No, that would be my team as well. I see CGM's puts in there. We can't put Hadji in, but you've got to remember CGM. It's as if they're all fit at the moment.
As if they're all fit.
That's,
as if
that's
we have
what I mentioned.
If we have a full on full squad, I think that would be mine. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We've got a lot of action to come. A lot of, well, I think we're all expecting a wee bit of action in the transfer market. It is very quiet just now. I know it's easy to get distracted with all the rumours and that to go around. Just remember, see, until they're standing there with a scarf above their head, they're not a Rangers player. So just wait. I know it's difficult because we're all desperate for it, but just wait. Don't believe all the absolute drivel that you hear. Get your news from the absolute Rangers sources, the guys in the know. We're not in the know for sure, but we only discuss points that we know that are coming from people in the know. So just a perfect example is the Alan McGregor thing we had earlier on, that there's no negotiations happened. No, there hasn't. Alan McGregor's on holiday. They're not even had a discussion yet. So I wouldn't get yourself hung up on him too much until it's all confirmed by the club. But yes, that will do us for tonight. I always good doing this, isn't it? It's always great when you get questions and you can go through stuff. Really good. It's weird not doing as many pods as we usually do. Generally, it is. Again, it's probably looking like another week before we do one because there isn't very much happening. When there is, and there's something serious happening, you know you will come back. There is no doubt about it. I'm sitting with a lot of free time on my hands midweek, man. Like, well, what I can't remember what life used to be like before I did podcasting. But yes, for tonight, Alistair, thank you very much, mate.
No problem. This time next week, we will have something to talk about because at 9 o'clock, I think on Friday next week, the league fixtures for next season come out, which is the 17th of June. So that'll be a good talking point. We will be away, first game of the season. We will also be a Saturday because we play, I think, on a Tuesday in Champions League qualifiers. So I'd imagine we'd definitely be the Saturday. So yeah, that'll be an interesting talking point to see where we're away at first. Usually it's the Sheep or something. We usually get them. So interesting to see who we get.
Yeah, Curry Muncher's actually made a good point. Daddy Scott will have no spare time after short arrival. That's probably true. The podcast will be my escape for the hour that I get. The podcast will be my escape. Scotia, thank you very much, mate. Good to have you back, and bet you're glad you don't need to watch Scotland for a while.
Until Saturday.
We've watched them tomorrow.
They play Saturday.
They're playing Ireland.
We're playing Ireland, so no, it should be a good day. Go down to the pub with some of the guys tomorrow, so I'll look forward to that. But it's been really good actually sitting talking about Rangers tonight. So cheers.
Yes, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, thank you everybody for getting involved. Thank you for sending your questions in as always. The chat has been superb as always. Please do like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would be so kind. We will be back next week, next Friday, no matter what happens. We'll definitely bring a podcast next week. So until then, enjoy the rest of your week. If anything happens midweek, massively big, we will come back with a pod. Don't worry about that. And yeah, enjoy your week, and we'll speak to you. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak to you next week. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for tuning in. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.